buddy, Lawman Mike with www.lawmanguitars.com. Hey, I've got a really cool Guild guitar for you today. Got a call from a buddy I used to work with in Boston. He says, "Hey, Lawman," he says, "you remember me?" And I go, "Well, yeah, sure I do." He says, "I've got my old Guild." And he says, "I'm really playing my classical guitar. It really needs to be played. I played it for years and years and years. Time to pass it on to somebody else. How about it?" I said, "You send it in." So anyway, he did, and what a cool guitar. This is a 1976 Guild G41 NT Jumbo Dreadnought. Now, they didn't call it a jumbo guitar. They called it a super dread. They called it the biggest Dreadnought made. They made these guitars from 1975 to 1978. We dated this one to right in the middle of 1976, and it is super cool. It's got a 17-inch wide body, which makes me look like this little peanut behind this guitar, but it also has a longer scale. It's 26.25-inch scale neck, but the nut is only 1 11/16 inch wide, so it doesn't feel big in the neck. Only weighs 5 pounds 7 ounces, so it isn't a big, heavy-duty, weighs a lot kind of instrument. And it's just really cool. The only thing that my friend had ever done to it, he says the bridge started coming up a little bit, which they'll do, and he had that reglued, but the neck had never been redone. Truss rod works great. We had all that checked out. And it's all original. I got the case to go with it, but original pickguard, original bridge, saddle, pins even, truss rod cover. We see it says Guild on the back of the tuners here, so we know those are original. And it's mahogany back and sides, and a beautiful spruce top. It's just gigantic. And it's got some finish crazing going. It's got some bear claw in it. It's just, it's a marvelous looking guitar. We checked out the seams. There's a seam here that I feel. I'm always rubbing my hands over it. I feel it, and they checked it out and said it's not going anywhere. It hasn't moved. Jeff was very careful in checking it out. He says, "No, Mike, that's simply the seam from the two sides, book-matched spruce sides." And also on the back, I noticed the same thing. You could kind of feel it down here. He says, no. He says, again, they just book-match the sides. That's the lamination line. It's older, so it's going to show up at some point in time, especially with player wear. There's been a lot of movement in that wood with this great big giant body. So Brazilian rosewood, the frets, yes, I did say Brazilian rosewood fretboard, and the frets are big. They used big frets then, and they're in really good shape, original nut. So, I mean, the guitar is just absolutely original from head to toe. There's wear, you can tell right in here, there's perspiration has gotten to the finish right in here. I rubbed on it a little bit and got it cleaned up, but it's, you can see right in here. It's not as shiny right in here and right in here. So he definitely played it in the summertime. No real buckle rash, but there's some hazing in here from just it's on your body, and it's if you're perspiring, it's going to pick up on that, especially if you played a lot. There is a few finger divots in the top frets. He definitely played a lot in the cowboy chords, which we all do. However, finger divots, of course, as you all know by now, hear me talk about them enough, that they do not affect the play at all. So don't worry about finger divots. It just tells you how loved your guitar was. But what a beautiful sound on this instrument. You can play it gently, but it still comes through. That's what I read in the catalog. It said, it still has presence, but it doesn't lose its tonal qualities with that big body. no trouble at all keeping up with the Martins in your group. Martins can be a little dominating in some of your bluegrass groups, and if you've been considering something besides a Martin and you like guilds, this one is really, really hard to pass up. Bark chords, no problem. It's not the lowest action I've ever had on a guitar, but it certainly does not need a neck reset. What a cool guitar. This is some big strummer. The Super Dread, 17 inches wide. Wow, what a cool guitar. Fortunately, we did get the original case, and he told me, he said, the handle is missing. I go, okay, all right, I got it. They're always missing. I had this really old replacement handle, which I want to point out right away is not, of course, not original. You can tell that. But it's older, which I thought was cool. And I said, you know what? I've been waiting for the case for that handle. It fitted perfectly. I go, that's the handle for this guitar, or for this case. So it is the Guild case. It's branded, as you can see, big old gigantic case. And it's in very, very, very good condition. The blue plush is still very plushy. It's got your original accessory box. Look at here. Inside it says Guild Case 5217. They even put a model on their case. Isn't that interesting? It's got the back strap on it. The hinges still have the plush covering over the hinges. All your latches are still here. Let's see, I'm trying to remember. Is this one? Yes, one latch I need to point out is missing the top part of the latch. Those you can find if you're so inclined. But that part is missing, but the hinges are still massively here. I mean, they just, gosh, those are big, heavy-duty latches on here and hinges. So it's a great, great case. Just a replacement handle is all. Fits the guitar perfectly. It is a wonderful, wonderful guitar. They only made these from 1975 to 1978, so it's a pretty historic vintage guitar. So, hey, check it out and all of our really cool guitars out at www.lawmanguitars.com. I would ask you to take this opportunity to hit that subscribe button on our YouTube channel. We're almost at 7,000 subscribers now, so we're really excited about that. So once you help us get to 7,000, that would be awesome. We appreciate it. But hey, once you go to www.lawmanguitars.com, you'll see our website. We'll direct you to Reverb, where all of our guitars are listed. So you can go to our website or go directly to Reverb and look for Lawman Guitars. You'll see we've got probably 200 instruments right now. We are jammed with instruments. Always happens in the summer. I start panicking a little bit because we have so many, and then boom, the fall and winter comes and they're gone. So grab them while we have a great selection, because we certainly do. So appreciate you watching my demo today. Thank you so very much. I appreciate you all.